So this was the original retaining channel, window retainer channel, whatever you call it, from the 59. I drilled out the spot welds, pulled this guy off, drilled the spot welds out of this on the other end. Those held the frame that went around the original window. We got a couple extra doors that were just trash, so I took one of the doors and cut the rear, or removed the spot welds and removed the rear guide channel out of it. That went basically down inside the door like this. That's the original profile and standoff. We just cut that down into pieces to lengthen for the section up, well, right in here, basically this section on the door. And so we happen to have some pieces laying around. If not, this channel is like 7/8 by 1/2 inch. If you want to match it, match it exactly. So anyway, went ahead and I said we had that extra door. Took the channel, the window retainer channel, and trimmed that down, and got two pieces. About 5 3/8 of an inch, and welded that to the end of the original channel, and that gives a real good, the window's completely supported across the bottom now. There's just a little bit hanging off each edge. It's like 3/4 of an inch. Three quarters, 7/8. So anyway, it keeps it so that the bottom of the window is supported, still more than enough room for the window guide, and it does not come in contact with the window guides on either end during its full cycle up and down. So that's those pieces there. Just like Black Diesel did, we took another channel again, that same door that we used as a donor, had one, and cut it down to, it's like about 3 3/8, roughly 3 3/8 inches, 3.5, something like that, anywhere in there. You just need to make sure that you extend this channel, this runner, at least a couple inches, because you've now shifted the entire window to the left or to the right, depending on which side you're doing. But you want to put this on the front, and the regulator rollers spread out as the window goes through its movement, as it goes down. And because the whole thing is shifted, what will happen is that front roller will actually come real close to, and more likely than not, come off the end of this, and you'll lose your window roller, and the window will drop, and it won't be fun. So need to extend it by at least a couple inches. I went ahead and I followed their directions, and it was like they said 3.5. So that's all you got to do there. Just make sure that it's obviously clean down inside. Get your burrs off so that the rollers will not hang up. And my template, I just used masonite. It's 1/8 inch thick, and glue two pieces of it together. It gives you a piece that is 1/4 inch thick, obviously. Same thickness as the glass. The back side has got some serrations in it that'll hold the glue. Obviously front side smooth, so it gives you a nice solid surface, and it kind of mimics the glass. It flexes very, very little once it's glued together. But I laid the paper template down on top of this masonite, did the markings on it, cut it with a jigsaw, put this channel in using the original rubber that come off the window that we took out of the door, and it taps right down in there tight, just as a piece of glass would do. Let's see. Oh, here's a little better picture. That's again, the original channel rubber. It goes down in just like a piece of glass does. This gives you a good, accurate starting point. Bolt it in, roll the window up and down, see where it lays. Give me just a minute. I'm going to get the paper template and we'll lay it down and see how far off that template really was. Okay, so the paper template is underneath, and you can see just how far off that template actually was versus the window, the masonite template that I made for the window. And it's also, I trimmed nearly 3/8 of an inch, or nearly just under 1/4 of an inch, 5/16 of an inch off the bottom, because it was so tall that when you roll the window down, there was still this much of window sticking up above the door. These templates, at least this one, and I'm assuming the templates that everybody else is having trouble with, they suck, they're off, that's quite a bit of distance. And this distance, not only distance, but the angles make a huge difference. This section here, this radius, was way off. This down here was off a little bit, it wasn't too bad. This back here was off, and this radius up here was off along with the top. And the only way to get it right is either have a good template to start with, and you won't know that till you already lay something out and try it, or do like this, make your own. These marks, pencil marks here, are just my own reference marks that I made as far as where it fits in the door. I'll get a couple more videos and some more measurements here in a little bit, but yeah, this, I don't know who's doing what template wise. There's been a couple of you guys that have commented that you used the same one. This template came from a company called Specialty Power Windows, and basically they even marked it backwards, so they had the back of the window marked as the front. These marks are mine, just reference points for the original wing window location. And you can see when I cut it out, they said to cut it, says cut glass inside of line. Well, I cut this actually just outside the line all the way around, and if you cut it, even if you cut it inside the line, their dimensions are going to be off. It's just not that good. So this is lined up at the top, and This is after I trimmed it down some already, but I had to trim the masonite down even more. So you guys need to, if you're getting templates, you really need to spend an hour or two with making a masonite template, cutting it and trimming it and making sure it fits. If you don't, you won't know if it's right until you pick up your glass from the shop, and the glass guys are going to just cut it to whatever you give them. So you know, it kind of ends up you spend a little bit of time at the beginning, but it's going to save you the aggravation on the end. Get a couple more measurements and videos here in a little bit.